Good morning. I think I better keep this short and sweet. I just deleted an 18-minute video that went so far south. I don't know what happened in my mind. I'm trying to stay on yesterday. Let me talk about yesterday. We never made it to the farmer's market. Bonnie's not feeling well. When she went to Arizona and stayed with a friend, the friend's roommate was sick. And it looks like Bonnie might have caught whatever the roommate had. And Bonnie had jet lag because Arizona's on a different time zone, and she went from New Jersey to Arizona, then to Florida, and it messed her up. So she said to me, do you think Maggie would mind if I didn't want to go to the farmer's market? And I'm like, no. So I messaged Maggie and I said, hey, I know you've been wanting time to yourself too, and it was very kind of you to want to take us to the farmer's market, but I don't need to go. And she said, thanks, Mom. I'd like to do something else. And so then I got a phone call from Medicaid. I had an interview with them for the 4th, and nobody was able to answer me because they're swamped. Everyone's been dropped in April, including me from Medicaid. What happened is Social Security said, because my widow's benefit was higher than a disability benefit, I get the widow's benefit, and they sent me a letter saying I was no longer disabled. And I said to the woman, hold the bus. I've got a lot of doctors' notes. I have a lot of tests and evidence that I indeed am still disabled. So I gave her my list of doctors and the places where all my tests are at, all the imaging centers I've been through in the last year, and quite a list. She says, can you send me the rest on paper? I'm like, yeah. And so I'm going to be determined. Meanwhile, I have no insurance, and that's going to have to be okay. So there's that. And then Dennis Jr. and I went to the bank because he's trying to qualify for any kind of loan whatsoever to see if he can buy his friend's house. And they were going to do it under land contract. I'm not sure why his friend doesn't just sell it outright to someone else, but one, he likes Dennis a lot and he wants to help them get out of that apartment. I mean, they're paying $1,200 a month for the apartment, 4 of them in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But this house is only a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but there is a porch room closed enough so that you can air condition it. So that'll be the 3rd bedroom, but they're going to have to add a toilet somewhere, somehow. It's small. It's a small house, and no, I would not fit in there. And no, I don't want to fit in there. I don't want to live with my kids. My kids live very differently than I do. And I'm set in my ways. If they ever got like if they ever got, Mike talks about investing. Right now, Michael can't get a mortgage either, which is a damn shame because he's making really good money. But he had a failed business happen about 2 years, 3 years ago. And that hurt his credit. So while he's fixing that, he can't get a loan either. And Dennis Jr. can't get a mortgage because he hasn't had a straight 2 years at the same job. Well, he did. He had 6 years, but during COVID, the cars were not coming in, and he was losing money left and right. And Michael said to him, drive Uber. And Dennis is doing well in Uber, but the banks don't like Uber. And they don't like to not see 2 years. And she's saying to him at the bank, nice lady. She says, try to get something else in addition to Uber. They want to see something besides Uber. So they've been working on that jewelry business together, and they're going to create an LLC, because there's a long, difficult story about eBay, and I do not want to go into it. But both Dennis, me, and Maggie, all three lost our accounts over a product. Yep. So only Michael has an eBay account now. So, what am I trying to say? So that was my day. Then Dennis took me grocery shopping, and I got the shock of my life. I spent every penny left on my food stamp card, my SNAP EBT card, and I'm looking in the fridge thinking, where did all the money go? I bought steaks, and I got the cheapest ones I could, and that ain't cheap. I got one chicken, like that big. I did buy coffee, but that was only $8 because it was on sale. I did buy a new maple syrup, and that was $16. Ouch. But I'm looking at the rest of it. There's no other high price item. Well, I think the steak and the chicken were pretty high price. I want to treat her. She talked about, Mom, remember steak, mashed potatoes, and canned peas? So I bought that for her. I hate canned peas. I'm having asparagus. I bought asparagus, $3. A bag of grapes. Now look, I don't eat candy. I don't buy chips. I don't do soda. I'm on a diet, right? I wanted my bag of grapes. I love grapes. $3 a pound. It was $8 for this many grapes. Maybe I shouldn't have bought grapes. I bought 4 mangoes, a watermelon, a small one. $4. I don't know, it adds up, doesn't it? $3 for a thing of bread, and I can't even cut it right because it's like a rubber band. You try to cut, I bought the wrong bread, brother. You try cutting it, it goes, it just like, I don't know what the heck is the matter with it. I want to make my stuffed French toast, right? I didn't need a lot of bread, and I'm trying to cut a piece off when Dennis brought me back here, and he unloads all my groceries. He carried my water, and you know what? While I was gone, I had found this pure water filter that was under the cabinet. I said, hey, you're always, Bonnie's an environmentalist, and it's we'll talk about that later because it is part of her work, because those are one of the questions. Mom, you gotta quit using bottles, okay, Bon? So she attached it for me, and I now have a pure water filter attached to my sink. Groovy. I gotta see how much those cost to replace, though. I wonder if, but to save the earth, I'll do it, okay? More money out the window. So, right, so Dennis wanted a sandwich. He hadn't eaten all day, and it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4:30, and so I'm trying to cut that stupid Italian bread, right? And it's and it's all crooked. And so then I just throw that to the side, and then I cut another one, and that's really bad. But I was like, Dennis, I gotta use this slice, okay? Sure, Mom. So easy going. And then the other one, I cut straight. I can't cut straight to save my life anyway. And when your bread is fighting you on it, you got a problem. So finally I get a sandwich together, and he ate that, and put my groceries away. And then what happened? Heck, I don't know. I've totally lost my train of thought. The price of groceries. Oh my God. But here's a really cute anecdote, okay? So I'm checking out with my son, who's putting everything on the conveyor belt. He's so good to me. He's such a sweetie. Dennis. he's available. So if you have a nice girl in her 30s, let me know. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm checking out this lovely Latino woman. Oh, and she has a very heavy accent. It's so adorable. I'm agreeing with what she says, even though I don't quite understand. But I'm not going to make her repeat herself. And she says, "You have a beautiful skin." I said, "Thank you. You know, I hear that a lot. I have great skin and no hair." And then I laughed, and because I went in like this. And she says, I have no hair either. And yes, it was very thin, but so cutely styled and colored. It was adorable, and I never would have really noticed had she not told me, right? And I said, "Well, you know what? I cut mine off, and it is so cool and refreshing." And the bagging guy is just kind of staring and putting the groceries away with a kind of half smile on his face. Oops, sorry, I kicked this. Whoa, great camera work, Nikki. And I just thought that was really funny. And then I weighed myself because the scale was right there. And Dennis says to me, "Mom, don't weigh yourself this late in the afternoon. You're going to be disappointed." I said, "I got to know where I'm at. I'll take some pounds off for the fact that, I've been eating and drinking all day. I got my heavy sneakers on and heavier clothes, I realize it's late in the afternoon, and son of a gun, if I'm not down, yes, I'm still losing. It is slow, but I reached my next milestone. So now I'm going to, and I said to Bonnie, "What should my next goal be?" And she said a number, and I said, "No, that's scary. That's too much." I said, "Let's do 5 pounds. That's going to be my next point that I want to reach." So I'm excited about that. I'm losing weight slowly, and Dennis said to me, "Mom, that's the way you want to lose weight." He said, "You don't want to do it fast. It never lasts when you do it that way." And he's right, because I'm learning to eat differently. I'm learning about not compulsively eating, not stuffing down my emotions with food, not eating things that aren't nutritious. It's a whole new way of life for me, and it's kind of sad that it would happen when Dennis wasn't going to be here to see it. But the stress of Dennis, and not just his illness, but the stress of living with him, because I was a small girl when I married him, and I became a balloon over the years, and I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming life and the stresses of life and family and children and marriage and business. And Dennis was a workaholic. All he wanted to do was work, and in the end, all he did was work and then come home, and he just wanted to rest. And there just was no fun in our lives at all. There hadn't been for years, and I was becoming really distressed. I felt better when he was in Florida for 6 months and I was up north. There was less stress, there was less demands on me. I guess that's why I do believe I could never marry again. I feel like men in my generation, and hey, if you're a guy and you're listening to this and you think it's different, I want to hear from you. I just feel like men in my generation expected that 1950s model. She has the meals ready, and I did all that, but I was growing tired too. And Dennis didn't just want one hot meal. I had to make his breakfast fresh. I had to make his lunch. Dinner always had to be something different and something good. And if I didn't do it one night, oh boy, would I hear, "I don't know why you never cook anymore." And it would be like I skipped one. I'd be like, "I never cook?" So even when he was sick, it was, oh my gosh, it would take me an hour and a half to do his breakfast, because first he had to have his juice, And then in the end, I had to powder the oatmeal and make baby oatmeal so he could get it down. And then I'd baby scramble his eggs. You know, you'd whip up the eggs and you'd add a lot of milk to thin it out. And then you'd put it in a buttered pan and you'd take that rubber whisk and you would, you know, whisk that egg on low until it came out kind of mushy and teeny tiny little lumps. And he'd have that. And what else did he have? I know there was one other thing. I don't even remember anymore. It was so crazy. And then his lunch was a chocolate shake, and his dinner was a creamed soup that I made. That he allowed me to make fresh once a week, and then I would pulverize it and put it in big Debbie Myers boxes. So all I had to do was scoop it, heat it, and serve it. So it got a little easier toward the end. The last day he couldn't even eat because he couldn't swallow. Oh well. Sorry, drifting back, but I had a lot of stress during that last 5 years, of course, but I had a lot of stress before that. When he'd come home, I'd dread it. It was very, he was very demanding. And to keep him from, you know, being a poop head about things, I just, you know, better to just conform than to fight it. I guess that's why I was thinking of leaving him before he got sick. That's the truth of the matter. I guess my story's kind of different. And yet, you know, it's really hard when you're crazy in love with somebody. Why do we love the people we do? They say love is a choice, but after a while of loving him, sometimes it's really hard. When he became ill, all that maternal nurturing just poured out of me. It was like, I've got to save this guy. He's taken care of me all these years. I got to do something for him. And I did everything I could think of. But that's just kind of the dynamics of where we were at. I was going to buy a van and roll away. One of his favorite songs, Bob Seger, "Roll me away, won't you roll me away?" Well, what am I doing today? Oh, I'm sorry, my throat closes up all the time. I don't know what this is about. I think I might make that French toast if Bonnie's feeling better. She said, "Mom, don't give me anything thick. It's, you know, she's all congested and her throat hurts pretty bad." So we'll see how she's feeling this morning, and maybe I'll make my strawberry stuffed French toast. And if I do, I'm going to take you with me. So I think I covered everything. Boy, I hope so. I've been rambling again for 19 minutes, so I think I'll stop here. Thanks for watching and being with me, and sorry about the light flickering. I can't help it. And somebody told me a ring light isn't going to help this. So, I don't know. Boy, is it bright in here. Mercy. Another day in Florida. Bye.